Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and today I have some really funny news to go over. Now, I say funny because if we can't laugh at the Call of Duty franchise, then we're probably just going to end up crying, because the absolute nonsense Activision have been peddling lately is nothing short of absurd, and in this case, it's downright insulting. So, yesterday I caught a Blame Truth video where it turns out his Twitter got hacked in some way, so if you guys know any way to help out with that kind of a thing, you can reach out to him through his video, because it really does suck to have that happen. But in his video, he also covered some news that I ended up missing, right? So it turns out that with the Season 3 Reloaded update, they broke virtually half the game, which I will be covering in a separate video, but on top of that, the community are slowly uncovering just how much AI slop was added to the game with the most recent update. Now, the biggest focus was this post right here from Frosty over on the Black Ops 6 subreddit, so I thought I would take it a bit further here today and uncover just how bad this situation really is. So, if we boot up Blazetown, we are going to find a ton of AI slop in other Activision nonsense. Not that many people notice this right away, of course, because it's Nuketown, it's really fast-paced and everything, but if we stop and smell the roses, it gets really freaking bad. The first one here, of course, would be what Frosty discovered, the freaking pot star poster. Like, what even is a pot star, first and foremost? The skull isn't even smoking a joint. Like, it looks like it's kind of like a cigarette, more or less, and the cigarette isn't even in the skull's mouth. Like, where's it supposed to be entering here? And where is that smoke even coming out of? It's like behind the skull, like coming out where its ears used to be or something. It's clearly AI slop. It's freaking terrible, but believe me, ladies and gentlemen, it does get worse. So here we have Puff Puff Pass. This one here doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's generic as all hell with the Outrun colors and the Outrun sun, but honestly, it's not as bad as the other things that we see here on the map. Here we have the Mary Jane poster, which is literally just a vintage woman smoking what still looks to be more like a cigarette than anything else, and then the text here. Like, what even is this text? It's so small, it's so out of place, it clearly looks like it's AI just based on the placement alone, but the next one here is definitely gonna trip you guys out. So look at this freaking alien poster here. Like, I understand it's stupid enough with the whole take me to your dealer nonsense, but look at this little dude's hands. Like, dude has two completely different kinds of hands. One is holding the nugget, which honestly doesn't look that bad. If he does have an index finger, however, it's being covered up, but that doesn't really make a ton of sense given the length of his other fingers. But the other hand is so clearly AI, man. Like, these fingers look like they belong on a completely different piece of art. They're so much thinner than the other hand. They are distorted. It's clearly AI slop that one of the guys on the art team decided to throw in because, hey, everybody playing this map will probably be too high to notice. If we go over to the greenhouse here, they didn't even bother to place the pizza on the stove, and you might be thinking this is just a glitch, but no. Every time you load into Blazetown, this pizza is going to be floating in the kitchen. So while decorating the map with AI posters, they also decided to add in a bunch of pizza and pop and chips and munchies in general, right, as props, given the theme of the map, of course, but they didn't even bother to make sure that these props were placed down properly. Here we have a 420 poster, and dude, you cannot tell me this was not made by AI. Like, there is so little detail, so little character. This looks like, and you guys know this if you're more of like an old school gamer, this looks like one of those posters you would find on a meme custom map by somebody who hasn't quite figured out the software yet. This is like the kind of image you would see as an Easter egg in like Call of Duty 2 if you were to like glitch yourself through a wall and one of the developers just put a JPEG there, right? Like, that's exactly what this looks like right here. It's freaking terrible. It's very clearly AI. This adults only poster looks fake as hell. Look at this smoke weed poster. Like, come on, you guys see what I'm talking about here, right? Like, this is clearly AI. None of these posters look remotely real. The art is completely off, and the posters themselves don't even look like they were made for this game. They don't sit on the wall properly, you know what I mean? Like, they don't look like they belong, and it's just another example of Activision peddling AI slop here within the Call of Duty franchise, but it looks like they may actually be having an overflow of slop because the AI nonsense is starting to enter the real world here. So we all know that with the re-release of Verdansk, it brought back a lot of players to the series. Like, it was a huge win for Activision, and according to Steam charts, there was a 55% increase to the average player count in April as compared to March. So credit where credit is due, Verdansk was a success, and a lot of that had to do with this man right here, Ted Timmons. Now, Ted was the senior creative director of Warzone. He's been there since the very beginning of the original Verdansk, and he was a major factor in the re-release of the map and the quality of life improvements that came with the update. Well, not even a week after Verdansk came back, Ted quit his job at Raven Software and signed on to become a design director over on Fortnite. Well, that in and of itself is already pretty strange. I mean, look, he may have just gotten a better deal, maybe he's getting more money from Epic Games as compared to working for Activision, or maybe he's just tired of Call of Duty. He's been doing it for so long and he doesn't like the direction that the game is going. Either way, it's a really bad look when the creative director behind Warzone, left the company right after they re-released Verdansk. Well, yesterday he posted this to Twitter, which says, "It was very kind of Raven Software to send these even after the fact I'd left. I bloody love these challenge coins, and it's a nice conclusion to the collection." There, of course, we see the image of what they sent to him, and the responses here are freaking wild, man. Like, everybody on Twitter is calling the shirt AI generated, and I can definitely see their point. Like, look at Ghost here. When have we ever seen Ghost look like this? If we zoom in on his eyes, they are two completely different colors, for crying out loud. And then you look at the right side of the print itself, and I knew I recognized that symbol somewhere, but of course it's cut off, right? Well, it turns out it's the Raven Software logo, but given the fact that this image was likely generated by AI, the logo probably looked distorted and weird, which is why it's not prominently shown, and rather, it's cut off by the Call of Duty Warzone print. Like, how down bad does Activision need to be to have AI generated images on the shirts that they are giving out to their employees? Like, Ghost has been around, for crying out loud, since 2009, man. There are literally hundreds, if not thousands, of renders of him out there. You couldn't just pick one of those? Like, you own the copyright, for crying out loud. And this got me curious, so I went and looked. This shirt is not even available on the Call of Duty shop, which implies it's either a one-off printing made for employees only, or it's something that they plan to drop publicly in the future in an effort to capitalize even more by selling AI Slop to the player base. It's just so lazy, man. It looks so freaking bad. And speaking of that, I want to wrap up this video here today with an update on the new Haven map. So you guys might remember the reports coming in that Treyarch had to steal a number of maps from Sledgehammer Games to use as DLC maps for Black Ops 6, right? And Haven was the map that fans suspected the most based on all the pre-release marketing material that they gave us. Well, looking throughout the map in a private match, of course it's pretty difficult to do it in a public match with everybody butt sliding around on you, I did notice some really weird things. The biggest one, of course, would be the number of plywood boards that they have on this map that have a date on them, October 18th, 2017. Well, this is a bit weird and out of place considering that Haven is set in the year 1991. Well, this got me even more curious, so of course I jumped into Modern Warfare 3 and immediately, here on the map Skid Row, I found the exact same sheet of plywood with the same date and everything. Now, admittedly, this looks pretty damn bad, like Sledgehammer assets being used on a supposed Treyarch map. Well, from there, things get a bit more weird, because you see, plywood is everywhere within Black Ops 6. Like, if the servers are being held together by super glue and duct tape, then the multiplayer maps are being held together by plywood and unicorn bundles, man. There's plywood freaking everywhere on all the maps within Black Ops 6, and the thing about the plywood that we do find here in this game is most of it is incredibly similar to what we find in Modern Warfare 3, with the exception that all the plywood has the 2 in 2017 being replaced with a dash. You can find this model being used on a lot of different maps, but it isn't there on every single one. Occasionally they'll use a different plywood model, or occasionally they'll flip the model around so that the text isn't shown, and this leads to a number of possibilities. Number A, the Call of Duty developers reuse and share assets, and this theory does make the most sense, although it does go against what we know about the developers not liking to work well with one another. Number B, it's possible that Sledgehammer Games, who were assistant developers to Black Ops 6, used this model while they were helping decorate the maps. Or number C, Treyarch did in fact steal Haven from Sledgehammer, and their art team forgot to swap out some of the plywood to cover their tracks. I suppose anything is possible, but the really strange part is, in Modern Warfare 3, you can find examples of plywood with the 2017 grading stamp on it all over the place, but within Black Ops 6, they always cover up that too and replace it with a dash. This is because it wouldn't make sense to have plywood from 2017 on a map that is set in 1991 or even before. In fact, I spent way more time on this than I probably should have, but hey, I suppose that's one of the perks of being a YouTuber. I can dedicate time to stupid shit like this. But in all the time I spent searching throughout all these multiplayer maps, I could not find a single other example of the 2017 grading mark being used on any other map in the game besides Haven, which I do believe adds more validity to the claim that Haven was originally a Sledgehammer Games map that was then taken by Treyarch and completely repurposed. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Stolen maps, AI Slop marijuana propaganda, and AI Slop t-shirts that are being given out to the developers. Like, what a world we live in here. Like, remember the golden age of the Call of Duty series? We're all sitting there in 2012 just loving the hell out of playing Black Ops 2 and thinking to ourselves, man, this game is crazy. Like, I wonder where they're going to take the series next. If we only knew, man, if we only knew that we were living in the golden era of the Call of Duty series. Because if you fast forward 13 years, here we are looking at AI-generated weed propaganda on a bastardized version of Nuketown, which has been remade every single year because the AI overlords have yet to figure out how to make fingers work or how to make balanced multiplayer maps. Like, that is the state of the Call of Duty franchise. franchise, and this is why, to go back to yesterday's video, this is why we were truly hoping for GTA 6 to come out this year. We were hoping that Activision would finally have some competition, because shit like this is what happens when they are left unchecked for this long. It's so freaking terrible. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video here today. I'm sure there's gonna be more nonsense to talk about tomorrow, but for right now, we're just gonna wrap things up here. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave your thoughts and feedback down there in the comments. Be sure to sub to the channel if you guys are new around here. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.